They found 7 women bald in the middle of the night, screaming outside her salon. By morning, the entire village knew her name, but nobody knew her secret yet. This is the story of Zainab, the hairstylist who made a deal she thought she could control, until the price became unbearable. Please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. In Abakaliki town, Ebony State, there lived a young woman named Zainab, who had magic in her fingers. When she braided hair, it looked like art. When she twisted locks, they fell perfectly like waterfalls. When she fixed attachments, they blended so naturally that people swore it was her real hair. But talent does not fill an empty stomach. Zainab learned hairdressing from her late grandmother, Mama Adeze, who was the most respected hairstylist in 3 villages before she died. Before Mama Adeze passed, she called Zainab to her bedside and whispered weakly, "My child, I am giving you my skill, but I must also give you a warning. Never, ever braid hair with a selfish heart. Never use your gift to harm or manipulate. The moment you do, the gift will turn against you. Do you hear me?" Zainab nodded quickly, eager to receive the blessing. Mama Adeze placed her wrinkled hands on Zainab's head, prayed in the old language, and breathed her last that same night. Zainab inherited her grandmother's wooden comb, her scissors, and her small salon space in the family compound. She opened Ade's Memorial Hair Palace with high hopes and pure intentions. For the first 6 months, customers came steadily. They praised her work, hugged her, paid well, and recommended her to friends. But then something changed. A new salon opened 3 streets away. It was bigger, brighter, had 4 mirrors instead of 1, played loud music, had air conditioning, and the owner, a woman named Patience, was aggressive with marketing. She printed flyers, sponsored church programs, gave discounts, and even hired 2 assistant stylists who stood outside calling customers. Within 2 months, Zainab's customers reduced by half. Within 4 months, she was sitting alone most days, watching people walk past her salon toward Patience's place. She tried reducing her prices, but Patience reduced hers even lower. She tried offering free scalp massage, but Patience offered free hair wash. Every move Zainab made, Patience countered with something bigger. One evening, Zainab sat in her empty salon counting the little money she had left. Rent was due in 1 week. Her younger sister's school fees were overdue. Her mother needed surgery for her leg. The landlord had warned her twice already. She felt her chest tightening as tears rolled down her face. "Grandmother, you said this gift would take care of me," she whispered bitterly, staring at the old wooden comb on the table. "But I am suffering. What is the point of talent if nobody sees it? What is the point of skill if I cannot survive?" Then something strange happened. A voice, soft like wind, but clear like thunder, echoed in the empty salon. "Do you want help?" Zainab jumped up, looking around in fear. The salon was empty. The door was closed. No one was there. Who is that?" she whispered, her voice shaking. The voice came again, this time from the direction of her grandmother's wooden comb. "I can make you the most successful stylist in this town. Customers will beg to enter your salon. Money will flow like river. But there is a price." Zainab's heart pounded. She knew stories about spirits and deals. Her grandmother had warned her many times about desperation leading to darkness, but hunger, shame, and fear were louder than memory. What is the price?" she asked, her voice barely audible. The comb rattled slightly on the table. "You must braid with selfishness. Every customer you touch, you must take a small part of their beauty, their peace, or their joy. Not all at once, just small pieces. They will not notice immediately, and you will grow. Do you accept?" Zainab hesitated. Her hands trembled. Her mind screamed, "No." "Remember Grandma's warning." But her stomach was empty. Her rent was due. Her family was suffering. She closed her eyes, swallowed her fear, and whispered, "Yes, I accept." The comb glowed faintly for 1 second, then went still. The salon felt colder. Zainab felt different, like something inside her had shifted. From that night, everything changed. The very next morning, 5 women walked into Zainab's salon without appointment. They said they just felt like coming. She braided all of them beautifully, and while braiding, she felt a strange pull in her fingers, like her hands were drawing something invisible from each woman's head. By evening, all 5 women returned, looking confused and tired. "Zainab, I don't know why, but I feel like I need to come back tomorrow," one of them said. "Me too. My hair still looks perfect. But I want to sit in your chair again," another added. Zainab smiled. It was working. Within 2 weeks, her salon was fully booked from morning till night. Women began fighting for appointments. Some waited outside from 6 a.m. just to be first. Patience's salon across the street started losing customers. People who used to brag about Patience's place were now swearing they would never go anywhere except Zainab's salon. The money poured in. Zainab upgraded her salon. New mirrors, new chairs, bright LED lights, a big signboard, imported products. She bought a generator so there would never be power cuts. She hired an assistant. She bought new clothes, shoes, a phone. She sent money home. She paid rent 3 months in advance. Everyone called her the Blessed One. Church members said God had finally answered her prayers. Her mother cried tears of joy. Her sister hugged her tightly and said, "I always knew you would make it." But Zainab noticed something strange. Her customers, though they kept coming back, were slowly changing. Some started looking tired. Some lost their smiles. Some became irritable and snapped at their children. Some complained of headaches that never went away. Some said they felt empty inside but didn't know why. One day, a woman named Chinenye, who used to laugh loudly and dance while getting her hair done, sat silently in the chair, staring at nothing. "Sister Chinenye, are you okay?" Zainab asked carefully. Chinenye blinked slowly. "I don't know. I just feel less. Like something is missing. But I can't explain it." Zainab's hands froze for a second, but she forced herself to continue braiding. She told herself it was just stress. It had nothing to do with her. But deep down, she knew. Yet she did not stop. Because stopping meant going back to poverty. Stopping meant losing everything she had built. Stopping meant failure. So she kept braiding. She kept taking. She kept growing. Until the night everything collapsed. It happened on a Thursday night, exactly 3 months after Zainab made the deal. She had just closed her salon after a long, busy day. She counted her money, locked the doors, and went home feeling satisfied. She fell asleep quickly, dreaming of the new salon space she planned to rent in the city. But at exactly 2:47 a.m., a scream tore through the night. Then another. Then another. Zainab woke up in confusion. Outside, people were shouting, running, calling for help. She rushed to her window and froze in absolute terror. 7 women, all her regular customers, were standing in the street outside her salon, completely bald. Not just without braids, completely bald. No hair, smooth scalps. Some of them had patches of raw skin, like their hair had been violently ripped out from the roots. They were screaming, crying, touching their heads in horror. Neighbors poured out of their houses with flashlights and lanterns. People gasped, some screamed, some prayed loudly, some ran back inside in fear. "What is happening? Is this witchcraft?" All of them went to Zainab's salon. Zainab's blood went cold. She stepped back from the window, her whole body shaking. She knew immediately what had happened. The deal had turned. The price was being collected. She heard footsteps approaching her door. Loud, angry footsteps. Then banging. "Zainab, open this door! What did you do to us? Come out, you witch!" She stood frozen in the middle of her room, tears streaming down her face. She whispered desperately, "Please, I didn't mean for this to happen. Please take it back. I'm sorry." But the voice that once promised her success was silent. The banging got louder. Her door rattled violently. She heard her mother crying in the next room. She heard her sister sobbing. She heard neighbors shouting accusations. Then she heard the most terrifying sound of all. Her grandmother's voice, not comforting, but disappointed. "I warned you, Zainab. I warned you." By morning, the entire town gathered at Zainab's salon. The 7 bald women sat crying on benches while elders, church leaders, and even the local chief assembled to investigate. Zainab was dragged out of her house by angry relatives of the victims. Her clothes were torn. Her face was swollen from crying. She could barely stand. "Speak!" the chief commanded. "What did you do to these women?" Zainab fell to her knees. Her voice cracked as she confessed everything. The deal, the voice, the selfish braiding, the stealing of beauty and peace, the money, the greed, the warnings she ignored. The crowd erupted in anger and fear. "She is a witch! She sold her soul. She must be punished." But one old woman, Mama Ngozi, who was known as a spiritual elder, raised her hand for silence. She walked slowly toward Zainab and stared into her eyes for a long, painful moment. "Child," Mama Ngozi said quietly, "you made a deal with a trickster spirit. It promised you success, but did not tell you the full price. Every gift you received you took from others, and now the spirit has taken what you thought was yours to keep. But there is still a way to break this." Zainab looked up, hope flickering weakly in her swollen eyes. "How? Please tell me how." Mama Ngozi's voice was firm. "You must return everything you took, every stolen joy, every stolen peace, every stolen beauty. You must braid each of these women again, but this time with a pure heart. You must give back from your own life force. It will cost you greatly. You may lose your own hair. You may lose your strength. You may even lose your ability to braid forever. But it is the only way to break the curse." The crowd murmured. Some protested. Some said she deserved worse. But the 7 bald women, desperate and broken, begged the elders to let her try. Zainab nodded slowly, tears pouring down her face. "I will do it. I will give everything back." That same afternoon, under the watchful eyes of the entire village, Zainab sat in her salon with the first woman, Chinenye. Mama Ngozi stood beside her, chanting prayers in the old language. She handed Zainab her grandmother's wooden comb and said, "This time, braid with love. Give, do not take." Zainab's hands shook as she began. But this time, instead of feeling the pull of taking, she felt the pain of giving. With every braid, she felt her own energy draining. Her fingers cramped, her head throbbed, her vision blurred. But slowly, slowly, Chinenye's hair began to grow back. Thin at first, then thicker. Chinenye gasped, touching her head in disbelief. By the time the braiding was done, her hair was fully restored. And more than that, her smile returned. Her eyes brightened. She felt whole again. The crowd gasped in amazement. Zainab collapsed forward, breathing heavily. Her own hair had thinned significantly. Her face looked older, more tired, but she did not stop. One by one, she braided all 7 women. With each one, she gave more of herself. By the time she finished the last woman, Zainab's once thick, beautiful hair was reduced to short, fragile strands. Her hands could barely move. Her body felt like it weighed 1,000 stones. But all 7 women were restored. They cried, they hugged her, they forgave her. The village watched in silence, some with tears, some with respect, some with pity. Mama Ngozi placed a hand on Zainab's shoulder. "The curse is broken, but you must never braid hair with selfishness again. If you do, there will be no second chance." Zainab nodded weakly. She looked at her reflection in the salon mirror and barely recognized herself. But for the first time in months, she felt clean. For 3 months, Zainab did not touch a comb. Her salon remained closed. She stayed home, resting, recovering, reflecting. People talked about her everywhere, some with sympathy, some with judgment, some with curiosity. Her hair grew back slowly, but it was no longer the same. It was thinner, grayer in some spots, more fragile. Her hands, once so confident and fast, now moved carefully and slowly. When she finally reopened her salon, it was different. She removed the big signboard. She took down the LED lights. She returned to her grandmother's simple setup: 1 mirror, 1 chair, 1 comb. She put up a small handwritten sign outside: I braid with honesty. I charge fair prices. I will never harm you. At first, only a few people came, mostly those who had witnessed her sacrifice. They sat quietly, watching her work with humble hands. They saw that she was different now. Slower, yes. Less flashy, yes. But there was peace in her touch. There was healing in her braids. Word spread differently this time. Not about magic or curses or competition, but about redemption. About a woman who fell, paid the price, and chose to rise differently. Her customers came back, not because they were compelled or tricked, but because they trusted her. And trust, she learned, was worth more than all the money she had ever stolen. One day, an elderly woman she had never met walked into her salon. She looked familiar, but Zainab could not place her. The woman smiled gently. "You don't remember me, but I knew your grandmother. I came to see if what people are saying is true. That Adai's granddaughter finally learned the lesson." Zainab's eyes filled with tears. "Yes, Ma. I learned it the hardest way." The woman nodded. "Good. Because your grandmother is watching. And she is proud. Greed dressed as ambition will destroy you from the inside. When you build success by stealing from others, whether it is their peace, their joy, their dignity, or their trust, you are not building at all. You are borrowing time before everything collapses. Real success is slow, honest, and clean. It does not require you to harm others. It does not demand shortcuts that cost your soul. It grows naturally when you plant seeds of integrity, water them with patience, and protect them with humility. The moment you choose selfishness over service, you stop being blessed and start being cursed. And no amount of money, fame, or power can replace the peace you lose when you betray your purpose. If you have been given a gift, use it to heal, not to harm. Use it to lift, not to steal. Use it to serve, not to control. Because the same hands that bless can also curse, and the same gift that builds can also destroy, if your heart is not right. Zainab learned this truth the hard way. But she learned it. And in the end, that is what saved her. May you never have to lose everything to find your integrity. May you choose the right path before the wrong one destroys you. And may you always remember, what you take from others, life will take from you. But what you give freely, life will return to you 100-fold. If this story touched your heart, or if you know someone who needs to hear this message, please share it. Don't let this lesson stop with you. Your like, your comment, your subscription, they help us reach more people with these powerful African folktales that teach, heal, and transform. We just hit 400, and I am so grateful to every single one of you. You are not just viewers, you are family. If you're new here, subscribe now and turn on notifications so you never miss a story that could change your life. What did you learn from Zainab's story? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's grow together. Until next time, stay blessed, stay humble, and remember, your integrity is your greatest wealth.